Okay, yourself.
So I'm Allan. I'm the designer at Luxous, machinist, slave, coffee drinker. Shaun?
I'm Shaun. Suppose the signage man.
Yeah.
Well, I
Sign
think he's
man.
a bit more than a signage man. He designs.
Yeah.
He can run the machines. He makes a mean coffee as well.
Well, rumour has it.
I've not experienced it in a long time. My cup's pretty empty at the moment.
And
That's a
is-
machine-made coffee. That's not real.
Well, not really. It's a Sammy, because Sammy fills the cups that goes in the machine. So
No. It's
Anyways,
a lady-made
that's
coffee.
what we talk about. You want to talk about how Luxous originated? Where did it come from?
It's a good idea.
So when
We've
did
already
we start?
spoke about this, by the way, but we're going to speak
no,
about
we're
it
just
once
having
again.
we're just having to
Just gonna
recap
recap,
everything
yeah.
that we already spoke about because Stuart decided not to push record. So what
This
were we
is still
saying?
in business
In
as
around about 2013,
2013, yeah.
I was doing custom kitchens and randomness and not making much money, but loving life.
And I was just making signs.
And so you were making
Not loving
signs,
life.
working at your old company.
Yeah.
How long were you there for? 10 years.
About 10 years, yeah.
And I used to drive past. He always used to work in Arches, and I would drive past every couple of days and see him, and would stop and have a yap. And I can't remember how the conversation came about.
I think you came in for something. But I can't remember what it was you came in for.
and
And then you spoke to me about the lasers and stuff.
and then I was asking him if he'd seen a laser engraver. And we found this really, really cool laser engraver in America. It's called an Epilogue, and their kind of party piece was to show you this thing engraving onto iPads and stuff. Really, really high detail, like
detail, like
photographic
photos.
quality. And it just kind of snowballed. We somehow managed to talk each other into buying this machine. So we took the finance on it.
A complete gamble.
I was living in a one-bedroom flat in Rosemount, top floor. So we buys this machine, gets flown over from Colorado, and it's sitting on my dining table in the
It's
kitchen.
about as wide as this, actually.
Yeah.
It's massive.
And we literally just stuck a big 10-inch duct in at my kitchen window.
No way.
And honestly, my neighbours must have hated me at the time. And
There's lots of late nights, was there?
yeah, and we just used to play loud music and just...
So how did you get the business?
stuff.
How did you get business from people?
So I think we started a Facebook page and we were just
What's it
making
called?
key rings and it's
Smith and
called
Wilson.
Smith and Wilson.
Okay, cool, yeah.
And hence where the Smith and Wilson come from now.
Mm-hmm.
And we just started making randomness. What we would do is we'd look at the Epilogue page and see what other people were making. And then we'd start making like customized chessboards.
Try and better it.
Yeah, and we always used to say like, what could we do?
So
that
would you
be
just
so much
start printing things or laser engraving things
Yeah.
and then
Well,
put it on the page? Then
what
that
we
would
did-
Yeah, or we'd
get
make
people's
stuff, and then we
imagination
started
going.
getting people messaging us saying, "Oh, can you make laser cut paper wedding invitations?" And,
Like, in the beginning, a lot of it was just us buying
trialing
stuff
it, yeah.
and just customizing it,
we
making
used-
stuff.
playing it.
We
Yeah.
still have stuff around the workshop that we made. So we'd go to like a car like a car boot
Yeah.
sales and buy random things that we could laser engrave and see like what happened if we laser this, what happens if we laser that, and then we still have we've got an old baker's paddle. It's like 110 years old, and we laser engraved it with a French.
Yeah, we tried to make it all French.
Like it was a French patisserie, but our
Like
names.
a pizza thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's
yeah,
got like
kind-
Smith and Wilson, and we made it look like we're the actual patissiers.
Okay, yeah. Nice.
And we used to do randomness, and people would message us saying, "Oh, can like Richard
Walker,
Richard Walker messaged us. He's a paramedic and
first responder, I think.
first
it is, yeah.
responder, and he messaged us saying, "Oh, can you laser engrave like my scissors?" And we used to just
nice.
and we used to play around and
There was made lots of chessboards. Remember, we
Yeah.
had a cool Game of Thrones one
yeah.
with all with LEDs and stuff.
What's the actual, just the board, yeah? Or
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
but it was like a
pieces?
big slab and we made the pieces as well, did we?
Yeah.
That's cool.
And it just kind of evolved. We'd keep taking pictures of things we're doing and we'd post them online. And then I moved into a house.
Is that still on the?
No.
I don't know.
We've got photos, but
Yeah.
it's
Is that
now
on
the
Bebo
Luxous
days,
page,
is
is
it?
it?
It's back in the Bebo.
No, I think it's now-
after Bebo.
It's now the Luxous page. I think it got
Okay,
changed
yeah.
to Luxous and then
So can
made
you
a
go
new
back
one.
to the very
Possibly.
start? Or
Yeah,
did you
probably.
delete
If
them?
you looked at the very start of the
Yeah.
images.
cool.
But then I moved into a flat. It had a double garage, but no, it was a house, but the garage was wrecked.
Yeah.
So we completely rebuilt the garage from the ground up, turned it into a workshop. We'd been doing that for a long time.
Yeah.
We were in there. It got to the point I was doing days, and Shaun was then finishing his work at 5 and then staying until maybe 9-10 o'clock at night. But it was tedious. Like I wasn't leaving the grounds of my property. I was getting up in the morning, going in the garage, going back to the house.
Yeah.
I mean, it was fine for a start, was it?
Yeah. And then I decided I wanted to upscale the business. But at that point, your missus was ill, and then
I'm pregnant, yeah.
and she got pregnant. So Shaun was not so keen to take a gamble. Like for me, my stepson was only 10.
I think he was about 10.
He
He
was
was supposed to
younger.
say less
He
than
was
10,
He was
yeah.
8. He was maybe about 8. So he wasn't really a young baby. So it was less of a gamble for me. But Shaun had young kids, and I said, right, I'm going to start Luxous. Got this premises. It must have been 2014, maybe. 2014, 2015.
What, here?
Probably,
Yeah.
I think it was 4 years ago.
2015,
5 years ago, maybe?
2015 maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe, what's it?
And then I started making random furniture. So I would buy like cast iron phone boxes, cast iron baths, and I would subcontract upholsterers and a seamstress to come and work for me. And one night I had been watching The Apprentice, and I seen a guy on The Apprentice, and he was selling these luxury Chesterfield style dog beds. And the next day I just thought, I'm going to phone him. So I phoned him. Very next day,
What was his name? Do you remember?
Selden Scott.
Selden.
He was
What
the
a cool
ex-director
name,
of Vodafone.
Was
Like,
it?
here's a Scottish guy phoning him up saying, hello, I seen you on the TV last night, and his attitude was just kind of like, what do you want?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I says, oh, look, I seen your dog beds. We manufacture furniture, like, you know, who makes it? And he said, nobody in the UK will make it. I have to subcontract it to Poland. And I said, well, why do you not send me a couple of dog beds? I'll deconstruct them, see how they're made, and then I'll see if I can compete with price. When I stripped it, it was a lot of woodwork. And then I realised, like, we're already getting pretty decent with machinery. We've got the laser engraver. Surely we can buy a CNC router, which would enable us to load and sheet materials and cut out all the parts like a jigsaw. So, long story short, took a plunge, bought a CNC. Never used one before. And just literally bought a load of router bits, sat on YouTube, looking at all the different forums, learned how to use it. Once you learn the basics on the CNC, the rest of it just kind of seems to follow.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
The best thing you can do with any machine is just learn the ultimate basics and then just play with it. Ask people for advice. Got the prototypes made, sent them off. Guy was ecstatic, came to Aberdeen, picked them up from the airport, come look around the workshop. He says, right, let's do it. So he cancelled all production in Poland, moved it back to the UK.
And how many were you making
I was
then?
doing that for about a year and a half, maybe even 2 years.
That
But
was a good study.
for me, like, I love the design aspect of the job, and the upholstery side of the business was really, really picking up. So we got some quite big contracts from the likes of Sushi and Hilton Hotels, and some of the other big companies were coming to us for a lot of upholstery.
Yeah.
And by this point, the margins on the dog beds for me just weren't where I wanted them to be. So if my guys were working a little bit slow or somebody had a day off, it was so problematic. And then we could do upholstery, which the margins were quite good.
Yeah.
And we realized that when we started branching into commercial upholstery, we were actually really, really good at it. And we were getting a lot of restaurants coming to us asking for work.
So when did you get the Sushi contract then? How long have you had that?
I don't know, a few years now.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure, maybe 3 years.
So was that during the time with the dog beds?
So I literally was in Sushi with Nicholas, and we were eating food one day, and the seats were full of holes. So I said to the manager, like, what's going on with your seats? Do you want me to fix them for you? And he says, oh, I'll give you a guy's number in London, blah, 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 blah. So I spoke to him, and he told me to fix the seats and give him an invoice. So I done it. But 4 months later, I'd been in the one in Union Square in Aberdeen, and same thing. So I just sent him a picture of the seats and a laughing face, being like, mate, what's going on with your seating? So I fixed them. And then he asked to come for a meeting in Aberdeen. He just said, look, how do you feel about taking on all the seating? We can give you them up and down the country. You can go around all the restaurants, and as and when they're needed, just repair the seating. So that's brilliant. And the Benchsmith sides of Luxous is grown massively.
Yeah.
Like, we're now doing commercial seating for restaurants and pubs all over the UK.
So essentially you can be cheeky, or you don't ask, you don't get.
Correct.
And that's
Correct.
kind
And
of-
but it's the same with anything in life. If you don't ask, you will never know if you were going to get that or not. So for us, that side of the business runs itself. The commercial upholstery side is taken off. Architects normally, or interior designers, will contact us and say, listen, I'm building a hotel, I'm building a restaurant, we need these seats, and we can do it all in-house. So we not only do we design, we program the machines, and then we have a team of upholsterers that will upholster that side of the business. Business was great. I still like the design aspect more. I've got
creativity.
upholsterers and joiners that work for me now. That side of the business runs itself, but I'm still wanting to be in about the design side of the business.
You want to be turned on by the kind of like designing new things.
Correct. And I love problem solving. So what I love is a customer to come to me and say, Alan, I have an idea for a product. I don't have a clue how to make it. Can you find out? But because we've built Luxous on machinery, for me, I enjoy, I suppose, deconstructing things. I want to know how it's made.
Reverse engineering.
Yeah, exactly. Reverse engineering. What was the processes involved to get from here to here?
Yeah.
And how can we improve that? How can we speed it up? How can we make it completely different? Is there a better way of doing it?
Yeah, adapt it for our needs.
Correct. And that's what we've started doing. So I love that side of the business. But the business had grown so much, and Shaun and I had always been pals. We've been friends since nursery. Nursery, primary school, secondary school. We lived in the same area as kids. And I knew that every time new restaurants were popping up in bars and the customers were coming to us to quote for the upholstery, then we started branching into building the actual bars. And I knew that there was a market for doing signage. Now, Shaun had been doing signage for 10 years at this point. So I'd approached him and said, look, do you want to come and work for me? Doing a signage, working for Luxous. He's like, no chance. Because he'd obviously watched Luxous grow and he wanted to be part of the success, which is fine by me. So we kind of yapped on the phone a couple of times. And I'd said, well, you'd already been doing little jobs for me here and there. And I said, look, why do you not just come and give it a go? Why do you not just come and work for Luxous?
I was always just too nervous to take the jump.
To take the plunge. Yeah. And then I think you'd seen the point that we were getting to the point we're quite successful here. And the jobs flow. The jobs are consistent. So I had said to Shaun, look, okay, well, we'll start a business, 50-50, Smith & Wilson, which was kind of rejuvenating the name, if you like. Yeah. And then, so we started it. We went and bought a couple of printers. Like, coronavirus has been quite good to us. It's been not so good to other businesses. But I think in life, you've got to make what you can of it. Yeah. So we use online auction sites quite a lot, and we'd found a really...
What's that for? What, for getting...
For machinery. So we were on the market. We'd had one machine and business was good.
Yeah.
But because Luxous has already got a client base, I was throwing signage jobs at that side of the business, because every time I was quoting for seating, I was saying, oh, have you got your signage? Well,
especially if they're just opening up a new store, you need all these things.
Yeah. And 9 times out of 10, the signage is the last thing that they get, because they want to do the inside first. So when I was going in and I was talk to the client and say, who's doing your signage? Oh, we've not quoted for it yet. Oh, Smith & Wilson can do it.
That's perfect.
So it grew really, really rapidly to the point that we were needing new machines. So we ended up going on a bidding website, not eBay, and we found a really, really cool printer. Like, you're talking, 17 grand's worth of printer? What did we pick it up for? Half price?
Yeah, pretty much.
Absolute amazing machine. We bought that. So the signage side of the company's obviously now, you're able to print double capacity. So we're able to churn the jobs out now. And that was it. Shaun came on board. We're here. And then I launched Allan Smith Designs. Because the Benchsmith side, or the upholstery side, is kind of functioning itself.
So let's go quickly over. So you got Benchsmith. So it's Luxous Group. You got Benchsmith, which is upholstery.
Yeah.
You got Smith & Wilson, you guys, and that's the signage. And then you've got Allan Smith Designs, which is you.
Yeah.
And go on.
So Allan Smith Designs is the side of the business which I enjoy most.
Yeah,
which is so people come to me and say, it's so varied. Like today, I can have somebody come in and saying, Alan, we're having a bit of an issue with something on an oil pipeline, and we've got an idea for something, but let's see if we can come up with some sort of plan on how to repair this. Or I could have somebody come at me with a pizza truck needing built, or somebody come at me saying, I need a 40-foot long smoker for smoking brisket, or it's so varied. No 2 days are the same, and I love it.
Feet.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Though it's so varied. Like, so this week alone, we've had somebody wanting a trailer for smoking meat.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it needs to hold a ton, a metric ton of meat.
A lot of meat.
We've had a coffee truck needing customized. On top of that, we've had some restaurant seating. We've had, what else have we had? Actually, we've got local bar wanting seats painted.
Signage for that bar.
You got that lighthouse for the
We've got the lighthouse for Clan that we're doing, the main one.
And a few secret projects that you can't really mention.
I've got some that when I'm allowed to tell the general public, it's going to kick off.
Cool.
Like some of the stuff we're doing for London-based people is when we're allowed to tell people. It's
Yeah,
gonna
it's
kick
just-
off.
Yeah,
It's
it's a
so
cool-
That
cool.
must be
It's so
frustrating
cool.
though, not being able,
Yeah,
because I know
it's-
what you're like. You with the, posting on your personal account, which is the original Evil Genius, on Instagram. You're always like itchy fingers trying to you post stuff and you have to put stuff over it so you can't show it, but you've got photos of whatever it is.
I think it's one of them things that we started off making key rings, and now we're getting to the point that we're getting quite famous people coming and asking us to make things, and it's cool. It's really nice. It's a nice feeling.
It's nice to see progress, is it? As well.
And it's not. I don't treat Luxous like, oh, this is my company and everybody needs to do what they're told. We're not like that. It's more like a family here. Even you guys must have met as like a media team. Like it's just like a family, and there's no big boss that sits in an office with a fat cat sitting at his feet. Like it's not like that. It's just everybody
It's a fat dog.
we all argue. It's a fat dog. It's good. I mean, do you want to speak about some of the machinery that we've got?
We speak about our new one, new flatbed.
Come on, so tell us the machines we've got.
Well, we've now got 3 printers. We use Roland for all our printing machines. The latest one's an LEC 330,
which is a flatbed UV printer.
UV, which we've customised so that it can do a lot deeper. 3 times as deep as it
so
should do?
it'll print 800 wide roughly,
That's 4 times.
736. It'll do 1500 long, and originally it would print to 250 high. So you could put any item in it you want. It's called a print to media. So anything you put in it, you could put this cup in it, you could put my phone in it, anything you want, you put inside this machine, you can print straight.
So it's
on.
almost like laser engraving, but
no,
print.
no,
In a way, no.
It's
No,
colour, so it's the same as any normal printer. You're not supposed to,
cures.
don't do it at home, but effectively you could put your hand in it and you could print whatever you want straight on your skin. You couldn't, and I've not tried it, so don't try it at home. But essentially, you could take a whole suitcase and put it inside. Now, the 250mm really limited Luxous because our jobs are so varied. We could put a whole kitchen worktop in there and print a design on it. So Shaun and I modified the machine so that we could essentially print up to 1 meter tall, 800 wide, 1500 long. So now it's huge. You can put whole suitcases. You can put anything you want in there now. Over and above that, what else have we got?
Our second new one would be the VG, the 640.
It prints at 1600mm wide, so you can do car wraps and that. You can do signage.
It's got the quality it prints is
phenomenal.
It's really, really good.
What's the DPI in these machines?
Well, the UV is 1440 DPI.
Crazy.
I think they're
And it also
much
prints,
and such.
it'll also print white. So say you've got a dark substrate, you can print white first, then you can print in colour.
I suppose you'd need that
And
if
you
you're
can-
if you're printing on something that's
And
black
then
or
over and
whatever.
above that, it'll print gloss and matte varnish. So you can pick out certain pieces of an image, like if it was a woman's face, and you could gloss the lips.
Oh yeah, I've seen this and it's
Or
amazing. Yeah, it's so
you
cool.
can print Brill. You can print texture. Because the ink cures as straight as as soon as it comes out.
Yeah.
You could literally just keep building it and print texture.
Yeah.
Over and above that, we have a CNC Plasma Cutter, 3 meter by 1500. We have another laser machine, 3 meter by 1500. We have a spray booth, a powder coat oven,
Hydro dipping tank.
hydro dipping tank, a
You
huge one.
see, I've never seen you using this, and I want to see.
Well, we've just got so many toys.
It's just
Yeah.
we've
We
been
just
so
like to buy
we've
toys.
Just forgotten about
We've just been so
Oh,
busy.
it's just been so busy.
Getting near it.
We also
You've
have-
also wait. You should speak about the fact that you made an oven, so you have.
well, we
it's
couldn't
big enough.
we couldn't get a powder coat oven as big as we wanted,
Yeah.
so we made not one but 2 of them.
Yeah.
We just built them from scratch. So we done all the electrics ourselves, including putting all the PIDs in, the sensors, the wiring. We fabricated a frame. Everything was built from scratch in-house at Luxous. I think the more that we use machines, the more that we have an understanding. And sometimes I look at the machines that we buy and I think,
We can make
they're
it.
so simple. Like, it's really, really
Yeah.
simple.
See, a CNC machine is essentially just a router bit. And
Yeah,
then it
but
just-
a lot
it's
of them is
like-
just framework with some rails and some servo
Well,
motors.
it's the fact that you can just let it do its thing while you can go and do something else. That's the main part. It's an
Yeah,
extra
you
person
still
in the
need to
workshop.
babysit them. Like, we're at the point now where if our machines are running, I can hear if it's not running right. Even
Same
if
as
I'm
me.
at the other side of the workshop. You use them so much, you can hear it instantly. I think the biggest thing in Luxous for me is learning to let go. Like, we've got so many staff here.
I'm exactly the same on the printing side.
Yeah.
It's like, obviously got somebody in now to help, but it's trying to let them do anything. So,
Yeah, you're
no,
quite
it's
precious.
hard.
It's
That's mine.
hard.
Yeah,
We need to learn to let go because
Yeah.
we've got such an ace team here and everybody is so good at what they do and they've all got their little place. And I've been saying for months now, we need to start doing like training every Friday. So one day we'll teach you how to use one machine, and we'll teach everybody how to use it over a course of maybe a couple of weeks. And then we'll do another machine and another machine. It's good for everybody. Not everybody has access to all the machinery that we do. Mm-hmm. So if you could come in on a Saturday morning with your kids and say, right, today we're going to make do-do-do.
Yeah.
We have all the machines in-house. Every machine you can imagine, we have in here.
Yeah.
We've got 12,000 square feet of workshop in here. And we literally, name some of the projects we've got in here at the moment.
Where do we start?
Correct. We've got a 30
You kind of
feet.
just mentioned a bunch of
We've literally got like a 30-foot long bus that's being converted into
a barbershop.
A mobile barbershop.
Oh, yeah,
It's been fully wrapped and fully kitted out inside. It
literally looks
cool.
like a barbershop inside. We've got, and everything's done in-house, from electrics through to the wrap. Mm-hmm. We've got a coffee trailer.
We've got signage
pizza,
up in.
Horse
The
pizza.
pizza
we've
trailer.
got a horse box, pizza truck. Now that one's really cool because so many people on the market right now are building catering trucks, and we love it. We love it. We've designed our own range. We're going to start fabricating full trailers to our spec. But the pizza truck, we wanted to go over and above. We really wanted to push our boundaries on that one and say, right, let's make it self-sufficient. So we had, in the flue of the wood-fired pizza oven, we've had a heat exchanger made so that when it's burning and the smoke's being released, it then heats water in a coil, which heats the water for your hands. Also, secondary heat coming off of that heats the proving oven for the dough. So there's loads and loads of cool, funky things. And we wanted to make this trailer self-sufficient. So you could take it anywhere, chuck it in a field, and that's it.
What else? We've got signage for the Prince of Wales's restaurant.
Yeah.
Up in Braemar.
Up in
Ballater, sorry.
Ballater,
I thought you meant the one on Spittle. What's that?
Oh, no, that's a pub.
Yeah.
That's quite cool. We need to learn these buttons.
No, don't use
You
them.
get
I'm not a
share.
fan of them. We don't need
So
them.
yeah, so what do you?
There's lots to be doing, is there?
What's next?
Well, you got finishing a bunch of the jobs, and then I don't know, like
I
the
don't
big,
know, like,
the big
I don't-
jobs.
But after that,
so many people say like
The secret jobs, I want to get them out, but
we need to have our own
next.
private project.
Yeah, I'm itching to just do something for us, not for anybody else. Like I've still got a huge party bus that I'm going to sell this year, and then we'll use that money to go into a project for us.
Yeah.
Because like we just.
what do you mean a project for you? Like what?
Well,
Just something that's exciting for us.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's
I'm
not
gonna-
for
I'm gonna
the
invest-
customer.
I'm going to invest some of it into the family patch, yeah? Some of the money I want to buy
We'll beep that out.
a 7.5 tonner. Like
bad.
if you see a horse, so for example, when we do Yo Sushi, we travel the length of the breadth of the UK. So last time we done 9 Yo Sushis in 8 days, and that was everywhere from Aberdeen, Glasgow, Edinburgh, Plymouth, Exeter, London.
Or is the next
Belfast.
one not extra? That's
what-
like
yeah.
at the tail end of
Yeah,
it.
and what we tend to do is sleep in hotels. But what I said to the guys is, why do we not buy like a horse box, 7.5 tonner? The back half where the horses would be will turn into a workshop, and the other half will turn into a proper motorhome that we want with hot showers and bunk beds and TVs.
That's the best way, I think.
And then we can just park near the job.
Yeah, yeah.
And when we're doing jobs close by, we can also use it as a canteen, if you like, where we can pick up materials, we can do work in the back of it. So I don't know. I think the future's bright for Luxous.
Was that meant to be a horse box, or were you on about making it as a bus or something like that?
No, it's
That'd be a
horse
mobile
box.
workshop, really,
Yeah,
wouldn't
we'd turn it into a mobile workshop.
Was that
I mean,
a bigger horse box though?
We've got so
the
much
one
going
That'd be
on.
a big one. No, that one.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
massive
okay,
one.
yeah. That's why I was
Yeah,
confused.
there's loads and loads in the pipework. Like it's the phones never stops ringing.
Yeah.
It's trying to find the time. This year, I want to really push Bentsmith. So one thing I've noticed through the years is that nobody really offers a just web-based phone up and order seating.
Yeah.
Now, but commercial seating can be quite expensive. If I've got to fly to London, measure your restaurant, then produce the seats, then drive them down, then fit them, it could be quite expensive. So what we wanted was an off-the-shelf product that we could have maybe 3 different designs in a few different colors, and that you can log on to the Luxous website or Benchmiths. You can say you have a run of 7 meters, and then you've got a corner seat, and then 6 meters. What we wanted was to be able to say, right, I want 6 1-meter sections that interlock together, a corner, and then however many you need in that way, and then we can ship them to you direct. So it'll be a product that we have on the shelf waiting to go. Soon as the order comes in, assemble it, chuck it on a pallet, post it to the customer. And that enables us to give a product.
So it's a modular kind of system that you can make.
But I want to allow people to the mass market, because not every takeaway and not every small shop can afford to have seats custom made for them.
Yeah, so it means it mass produces it to make it more affordable for everyone.
And it makes our product available to the whole of the UK as just opposed to really expensive one-offs.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I want to achieve this year. Signage side of the business, I think we should just keep pushing and pushing.
Yeah.
We're getting really busy and the jobs are just getting bigger and bigger.
I'd like to take on some more staff at some point.
Yeah.
Push for
Ben
bigger.
Smith.
Yeah.
More vehicle
There's no point in staying where you are.
No.
So many companies get happy just with a certain level of staff, knowing that they make £932 a week and they've only got £54 wages a month. Like so many.
Yeah.
Why? If you're going to do it, just go like.
You got to aim for the top. You have to aim for the top.
Yeah.
So that's the plan for this year.
1 minute.
What do you think?
Yeah.
I think we'll just keep pushing, and we've got you guys on board now. We're doing the tutorials, we're doing the how-tos, we're doing the little mini documentary
videos,
series. We're getting loads of good feedback on that. So I think once the documentary series kind of hits airtime this year, and people see the projects that we've been doing that we're not allowed to tell people about yet, people in Aberdeen are going to get a shock when they realise.
What's your time scale for?
So
back to benchmith, like what's your time scale? Because obviously I think that's going to be a really good kind of bread and butter for you guys.
What do you mean? What's my time scale for pushing that side of it?
Yeah,
I'm going to try and achieve it by the end of the year.
Yeah, so having the kind of modular side of it.
Between taking prototypes and making them and then putting them to trial, and then we'll maybe post some up and down the UK just to see how we get on within a year.
Yeah.
By the end of the year, hopefully we'll be at that stage.
So you guys would still fit it and all that kind of stuff?
No. So it comes to you pre-made. Like if you buy furniture, it'll come to you on a pallet. So essentially you can open up the cling foam wrapper and the seats, just lift them off the pallet, they interlock together and that's it.
Yeah.
So it means that you don't need to pay for somebody to come and do a site survey. It's not seats that are specifically designed for you.
And that's a major cost of the...
Well, the thing is, the design aspect of a project can be quite costly in the beginning. So if we do all the groundwork for you, we already know that there are 3 main sizes of seating in the hospitality trade. We know that because we do it for a living. We know that there are a few different styles. So if we stick to Chesterfield, fluted and a plain back, then you've got low, medium and high value items. So we can price it for everybody.
Yeah.
So that's the plan. So we'll hopefully have that done by the end of the year. We're going to really, really push Smith & Wilson. And one thing I do want to at least have the wheels in motion for is the custom trailers. So I do want to be doing horse boxes. Of course I do. It's our bread and butter. But I would like to produce a Smith & Wilson, Luxous, Allan Smith Designs trailer. You can have a small, a medium and a large. And the trailers come empty.
Let's speak about that.
You then come to us and say, I want an Argentinian steak truck. And then we create it.
Yeah. Let's speak about that next time. But I think that benchmith thing sounds...
We're going to go for it. So next time you hear from us, hopefully that's well in motion. And now we can finish.
So let's make a few notes on what we're going to speak about next. But that was good. Yeah. It was good. Good chatting to you.
It was mostly me doing the chat and Sean. This is kind of...
I think that's how things are anyway. So
I'm just a yapper.
Sean's slightly more shy than you, and you've got.
He comes out.
I just like to do the work. He likes to talk. I like to work.
Yeah.
Well, that's true.
It's me that brings the jobs in, though, isn't it?
Okay, thank you very much. Cheers.